And tonight on the 9 o'clock nightly news, the southeast coast braces itself for the onslaught of Hurricane Hugo.
The storm should hit the coast about midnight tonight with tides of over 20 feet and winds of 130 miles an hour. As for now, it's hurry up and wait.
An early morning accident in southern Texas pushes a bus into a water-filled gravel pit, taking 19 lives.
And in sports, he's ready to play. The biggest Packer, Tony Mandarich, readies for his debut against Los Angeles.
We've got a full lineup next, so stay with us.
And now, the 9 o'clock nightly news with Liz Talbot, Wayne Gay, Marlon McGee's weather, and sports with Mike Egan and Bob Bopp.
Hugo hits. Good evening. I'm Liz Talbot.
And I'm Dwayne Gay. It is the worst hurricane to hit U.S. shores in a decade. Watches turn to warnings. People living on islands off the South Carolina coast hit the high ground. Forecasters are surprised tonight by the ferociousness of the storm.
I think those could possibly increase by the time it makes landfall.
Well, earlier I didn't think it was going to increase, but we've seen that taking place as the eye has gotten a little bit smaller here in the last pictures. You see that, and the Air Force reconnaissance aircraft are confirming that, in fact, the winds are coming up a little bit and the pressure is starting to drop. So we might pick up another 10 or 15 miles per hour.
Along with high winds and torrential rain, Hugo threatens to spur tornadoes and to send a dome of water slamming into the coast. Marlon McGee is at the map. He'll be in momentarily with an update on Hugo's exact location and its path.
Residents along the southeast seaboard have been fleeing Hugo's fury. Today, the governor of South Carolina ordered an evacuation of the coastal barrier islands and the shorefront. Others are boarding up their homes and hoping somehow the worst doesn't happen to them.
The material things can be replaced. You hate to lose them, but I'm very concerned about the safety of my family. I have two daughters that have already left. The only ones that are here now is just my wife and I. We hope to be gone within 30 minutes to an hour.
We're worried enough to spend a lot of money getting things covered up.
If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I mean, you know, Mother Nature, if Mother Nature says it's time for everybody to go, it's time for everybody to go.
I'm more worried about our dog and cat than anything. We couldn't bring them here, so we put them in a separate part of the house, trying to keep them as far away from the limbs as we could.
Hugo should come ashore about the same time as the high tide, and that could cause serious flooding.
Roger Harvey is a reporter at WPDE in Florence, South Carolina. He joins us now live. Roger, you'd be surprised to learn it was a beautiful day in Milwaukee today.
That definitely would be a surprise to me. As you mentioned, the South Carolina coast is preparing for the onslaught of Hurricane Hugo. At this hour, the center of the storm is approximately 100 miles off the Myrtle Beach coast. We understand from Bob Sheets at the National Hurricane Center that Myrtle Beach, South Carolina will receive the direct brunt of the hurricane as it hits sometime around 1 a.m. this morning.
That's 1 a.m. your time. That would be about midnight our time. Roger, let me ask you to look out your window and tell me what's happening right now.
At this point right now, we're experiencing almost tropical storm winds, some 20 to 30 miles inland. Along the coast, the seas are approximately 10 feet above normal. Now, for those of you out west that don't know this, Myrtle Beach and the South Carolina areas are only about 2 feet above sea level. So we're already experiencing some flooding along the coast.
How's the evacuation process going? Are people panicking at all?
Well, the evacuation process has been moving along fairly rapidly this afternoon. You still have some of the brave souls that want to go out and do some last-minute picture taking and surfing for that nature, but as of about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight, most everybody had left. The police had gone out and rounded up some of the stragglers and the transients and have taken them inland to shelters.
Roger, we've seen horrific scenes from Puerto Rico in terms of looting and problems like that. Are precautions being taken to ensure against looting or riotous behavior among some of the people once the storm hits?
Yes, they most certainly have. The pictures, as you mentioned, from Puerto Rico had a lot of people on edge here. More than 1,400 National Guard are on standby for looters. We understand we just received word that one of the evacuation centers, which was a main point for holding a lot of people, has just lost power. A transformer has just fallen down. At this point, so that's one center that's lost, but they are National Guard standing by to prevent the looting and some of the riotous behavior that happened in Puerto Rico.
Okay, Roger, couple of word answer. Are you ready for this?
We think so.
All right, thank you very much. That's reporter Roger Harvey. He's with WPDE in South Carolina, speaking with us live tonight from pretty much the brunt of the storm.
Our weatherman, Marlon McGee, says the center of the storm should strike in a matter of hours. Marlon McGee joins us now with the latest.
They have 1 extra hour to prepare, Liz and Dwayne, but as it stands right now, that just moves the storm coming ashore right about high tide. Now we're going to go back in time and show you the storm. This is about at 10 o'clock this morning on 2-hour intervals, and you can see the storm. It doesn't lose its integrity. It doesn't lose its strength right about here.